We are at Noccolula Falls. It is off exit 188 on Interstate 59 in Gadsden, Alabama. It is a beautiful park. Of course, there's a creek that leads to the waterfall, hence the name. Okay. I do want to remind everybody, please subscribe to the video or to the channel. It does really help us out. We are trying to build a great base for y'all and be able to get out and do so many things, and we need those subscribers. So tap that subscribe button. If you like the video, do the little thumbs up. Liking the videos helps us. And if you want to know anytime we put new content out, if you hit the notify button, you'll actually get a notification anytime we put a new video out. So that is fantastic. A little bit more about the park. There's a creek that runs down to the waterfall, of course. You can see from the top of the waterfall down, and then you can hike down at the bottom and hike up to it and actually go behind the waterfall, which is really neat. There are a couple of hiking trails here, nothing major as far as mileage goes. You could do a couple of them. As a matter of fact, the loop, if you want to do an entire loop behind the waterfall and then back over the suspension bridge, it's like 2.2 miles, so it's not bad at all. The terrain is not bad at all. There's a few little spots that are very rocky, but it's really easy. So great place to bring the kids. Take a look at the video, see everything that there is to offer. We're going to show you the campground and some of the stuff here in the park, and I recommend it at multiple different seasons because there's always something a little bit different. So let's go and have a little fun. So as you can see, here's the creek or river, whatever you want to call this little piece of water here. Lots of geese in it today. And it leads over to the waterfall, which is in that area there. There's a bridge that crosses over top of the water, so that you can walk over top of both sides. The park itself is over in this area, which we'll get into in a few minutes. And then on the opposite side of the bridge is the campground. So we'll go over to the campground, we'll show you the campground, and tell you about what kind of sites and things like that are available. At one point, Noccolula Falls campground was voted best campsite in Alabama, or campground in Alabama. So that's a little bit of interesting trivia there for you. So I'm up on the bridge. They do ask that you do not wade or swim in the water just because you are so close to the falls. It can get treacherous, it can get dangerous. Right now the water is not really bad, but looks can be deceiving as far as the current. So I'm going to turn you around a little bit. We are standing on the bridge that you can cross over. There's the campground there, up behind the building. That's a little chapel. They have weddings and such here. We are at the top of the falls, so that is where the falls go over. And interestingly enough, if the water is up high enough, there have been kayakers successfully go over the falls. I would not do something like that. While I do like adventure, that scares the bejesus out of me to think about going over a waterfall in a kayak. So let me tell you a little bit about the legend of Noccolula Falls. So Noccolula was a Indian princess who her father was going to force her into a marriage to a man that she did not love. And rather than being forced into a loveless marriage, she chose death. And she jumped over the waterfall to her death. So, so she jumped over this fall. So this is the statue for Noccolula. It was dedicated in 1969 by the Women's Club in the Gadsden area. It was all paid for completely by fundraising, and a lot of it was actually done by children collecting pennies. I thought that was really neat that children's groups collected pennies in order to fund the statue to Noccolula. You can do is ride the train. There is a train that goes around the park, a small portion of it, and there's 3 stations. So this one, there's actually a Jack's, which is a local fast food restaurant, hamburgers, chicken, etc., etc. So right here at the Jack's, there's 1 station that you can get on and off at. You do have to purchase a wristband to be able to ride the train. So there's Billy. On the opposite side is a nice big playground that has several different things for different age children, so that's always fun to be able to play in. At Christmas, it is absolutely amazing up here. They have millions of Christmas lights all throughout the park, and it is spectacular to see. It's like I think last year it was $20, maybe a little less per person, depending on age. And they have hot chocolate and popcorn and, you know, all kinds of fun stuff, you know, as far as that kind of thing goes. And you can see Santa. You can decorate Christmas cookies, and I mean, it's just a really good time. My daughter and my granddaughters, we have an annual trip that we take up here every year at Christmas for the Christmas lights, which is really fun. At one part, there's a covered bridge, and all the lights are in sequence to the music. So it is really, really neat. You can ride the train, see all of the Christmas lights in the train. It's just a really fun time. I highly recommend it if you like stuff like that. There are multiple pavilions in the park so that you can come up and do, we've actually had several family reunions here. So you have a pavilion here, has a couple of girls at it. You have a pavilion over there, same thing. You do have a couple of different buildings and meeting rooms. There's also a really beautiful pavilion that's all done in stonework, and there is a stone fireplace that you can utilize if you'd like to. Okay, folks, we are actually in the park section now. There is a fee to get in, but it's only $6 for an adult. $4 if you are a senior, 55 and older. And then it goes down for that for kids. It does include riding the train. So you can ride the train here. You can get into the petting zoo section. There's the train. They're loading up now. It does take you around the park. So I'm going to pan around just a little bit. There's Billy. But there's all kinds of little houses and things like that, so we'll show you some of those and talk to you about a little bit of those. But we're also going down to the petting zoo. They have some animals. They have all kinds of stuff that you can I mean, you can actually pick some of them up, like the bunnies and the guinea pigs, and they have goats, and they have all kinds of stuff down there. So we'll do that, and then we're going to walk to the falls. So you don't want to miss that. So something that we're noticing today is October the 11th. And, you know, I told you earlier that they have millions of Christmas lights out here at Christmas. They have already started setting up their different Christmas decorations. So you can see here they have all kinds of Christmas decor going up already. And in a lot of these buildings, they actually will have different stations, like the Christmas cookies, and Santa is actually in one of the houses. When we get around to it, I'll let you know which one it is. But here's the blacksmith shop. Pretty cool. Now, I don't know if they ever do like demonstrations. I've come up here multiple times. I mean, even as a kid, when I would be here visiting with my family when we lived in like North Carolina and Virginia. But I don't ever remember seeing demonstrations, but that doesn't mean that I'm just really old and forget things, because it happens. But here's an old drill press. Isn't that neat? Okay, so we're looking into a house-ish. This looks like just one room, and you see the big wheel there. That's pretty neat. That's a weaving loom, or a weaving wheel. Pretty neat. All right, folks, so there's a cookhouse over there. Well, I'm standing in the house, and it is an open. Let's see if I can give you a better view of it here without falling down the stairs. So it's just the two rooms. I've shown you inside of both rooms. And y'all know, if you watch my Gatlinburg or my Townsend video, my Cades Cove video, what's my pet peeve? I hate that. Stop doing it. Respect your historical sites, folks. Because one day, if you keep doing crap like that, they won't be here. Here's a well. Very cool. Oh, here's the covered bridge. So we're coming up on the covered bridge. And on this covered bridge is when you walk down here during the Christmas Lights Festival. This is where they have all of the synchronized lights to the music. And they have like 3 songs. I think it's just 3 songs that they play on a loop. But all the Christmas lights are in sync to the music. And it is really, really cool to watch. So again, I can't imagine. It probably takes 2.5, 3 months to set up over 1 million Christmas lights, especially with the shows that they do here. So they've already started putting up all their Christmas stuff. But we are in the covered bridge. It is so neat. Come over here to one of the windows, because you can stand. They usually have like a big sleigh sitting in here that you can take pictures on with the lights and such. But you can also look out the windows and watch the Christmas lights as the music is going on. So here is a little mill. You can see the water wheel. I don't know where the water ever would have been, but apparently there was an old branch of the creek right here that would move that wheel. And then it's very dark in here, so I don't know that I'm going to be able to catch the equipment. But here's the seed cleaners. And then try to slowly move you around. Oh, good. Video compensates for it. And there is where they would put the stuff in and do a little shake, rattle, and roll. Here's the little post office. Again, with their Christmas festival, they actually have a mailbox set up that you can send letters to Santa. All right, so here is, now you got to take in consideration there is a botanical garden here, but it's October the 11th today, so there's not really a lot out. They actually, in their information, they say they have over 25,000 azaleas. So I want to come back when the azaleas are blooming, because I bet that is amazing. But you can come over here. I'm crossing the train tracks, and you can come over here and you can actually go down in this. So can you see the stairs? Hopefully. So yeah, let me see if I can zoom in on that. I don't know that Stephanie can fit through that anymore. But you know what? We're gonna try. So here we go. If I get stuck, I'll simply not put that part in the video, and y'all will never know. Oh, well, I guess I have to go back the other way, because I don't know if I'm really supposed to be down here or not. I see that gate over there. See, we made it through fine.
Well, yeah.
Look at us being all skinny. Ooh, spooky. You ready for this one?
Sure.
Go for it. You want me to go first?
Well, I'm just looking.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I don't have to take my backpack off.
I don't think so. I think if you lean over, you're good. Because it's tight, but it's not terrible. Gotta switch hands on the camera. Rock climb.
So you can go under there?
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir. Here. You're filming me. Watch your fingers on my video. I have made it almost to the top. I am out. So you can see the emu. I only see the one But at one time, there was a female lion in this cage, and she was quite ornery. She would actually back up to the fence at times and spray people. It was kind of funny, but really, really gross at the same time. So, I can't remember how she died. I don't know if it was old age or if there was an issue with her, but she did die a couple of years ago. They have had a fire here, and I could be wrong on this, so I apologize if I am. That did kill a couple of the animals, but they are bringing back some animals now. I think they have a couple of llamas, some goats. You can pet them if they'll come close enough. They had a deer out here at one point. It was male, and you know, on his antlers and stuff. There was one year that we were out here, and he would come up and let you touch him and pet him, and then he would lick you. And that's a weird experience if you've never experienced that. So they do leave stuff out here so you can feed the goats and the llamas. That goat said he didn't want none of what you were serving.
Well, he don't eat it.
Oh, look, there's the deer. There's the deer. Here's the deer I was just talking about. Isn't he pretty? Hey, baby. Are you eating Cheetos? Are you eating Cheetos? You are. You're a cheesy poof eater.
Yeah. He's extremely full belly, didn't he? So friendly. Yeah.
Hey guys. Okay, so earlier in the video, I told you that, you know, there was petting zoo and all that kind of stuff. Well, it didn't even think about it. It didn't even cross my mind. But unfortunately, that is actually what burned. And they lost, this is the site that it was at, and they lost all those animals. So it didn't even cross my mind when I said that earlier, that that's the site that burned. They do have a few animals here. They still have the deer that you saw a few minutes ago that's been here for years. So you can still see some of them. Okay, so we are about to go down to the Gorge Trail. In order to get to the Gorge Trail, if you come through the main building, you can get on the train if you'd like to, ride to the very first stop, and it is right off the platform. If you don't want to ride the train, if you just want to walk over, then you just kind of follow the trail down. It's not really marked as far as where it is, so you basically just walk towards the petting area, to the little animal area, and then you will see it. So the Gorge Gate is right here, and it closes at 5 o'clock, so plan accordingly. They say it's a primitive trail with steep slopes, yada yada. It's not that bad, to be honest with you. And you know, you gotta love when a park does this. You just pick the one that you feel relates to you. Let's go. there. Look at that. It is beautiful. Alright, hopefully you can hear me over the water. I'm not going to do a lot of video as I'm walking because it is very, very slippery under here. So I will take some pictures and I'll do some video maybe at different clips as we're walking. But it's very, very, very slippery. So I do not want a chance falling and getting hurt. So we're on the other side of the waterfall now. It was a really easy walk through, but it is slick and there are some wobbly rocks. So just be really careful when you're coming through. When you get over, depending on which way you walk in, either close to the beginning or close to the end, it is really slick, like worse than the other areas. So just be careful, take your time, and you got it. Alright, so we drove through the parking lot, or through the campground, I mean. I'll do just a fast video of the campground so you can see what it looks like. The prices are not terrible for being able to be right here at Noccolula. If you wanted to do some hiking and some mountain biking, they do have it looked like 4 mountain bike tracks. They're not long, so you'd have to loop them all together to really get much of anything in there. I know Billy's ridden them a time or two, so you know, he says they're not super technical. Good thumbs up on the mountain bike?
They're great trails to ride. They're kind of leisurely trails, nothing that I couldn't handle. I'm certainly not a technical rider, but they were fun to ride. I'd come back and do it in a heartbeat.
Well, there you go. And he's the authority. But as far as the camping prices, so you can do like a 30 or a 50 amp, and one night, it says full hookup, 30 or 50 amp, cable, sewage, and Wi-Fi. The price looks really good, $25.02. It's pretty good. Electric and water, if you just want to set up a tent, one night total with your tax and all that kind of stuff is $19.42. So I mean, the prices are not bad. Apparently they have cabins. I didn't see cabins anywhere, but I'll look at the map again. But the cabin is like $124.70 a night. So I mean, the prices are really not terrible considering some of the other prices in some of the Alabama state parks. This is not a state park, but I'll insert a couple pictures of the camp map, the campground map, and then just the trail map in general. The maps look really, really good. We did all trails when we hiked, and the hike itself was like 2.2 miles. So, which is really accurate with what their list said. So I like that. I like it when it's really accurate and really close to everything. So you're not expecting, you know, a mile trip and you've got a 2.2 mile. That's a little off for me. So anyway, overall, it has been a fantastic day at Noccolula. Thumbs up. We're going to come back. I'm going to bring Billy back for some Christmas lights. I think he will like those. But guys, I want y'all to get out there and live a great story.